Well, good morning. Trucker Todd here, and time for another video. Last week I didn't get a Friday video out, so now I'm behind on the videos. Hopefully we'll get caught up. I got snowed in Wyoming. They shut down the interstate, and my signal wasn't all that great up there. But anyway, during my downtime, I said all that to say this. I had one guy, I believe it was one guy, who created several profiles, and he went back and watched some of my videos and basically said, "You're getting screwed at Dart Transit. What about Risinger Brothers? What about Risinger Brothers?" And then a little bit later, another profile, same thing. "I don't work there, but Risinger's a great company, and you're getting screwed at Dart." I kept hearing that over and over. I believe he had 3 or 4 different profiles. And we finally got to a point where I said, fine, I'll do a video on Risinger. Since you're so gung-ho about it, I'll do it. Now, at that point, I was thinking I'm going to do a video and I'm just going to trash Risinger. I'm just going to, make them look terrible. And I decided, after thinking about it, giving it some thought over the weekend, instead of doing that, I'm going to show you what they say about themselves off of their website. And then after that, I'll give you my thoughts. But prior to that, I thought, wouldn't this be a great opportunity for me to show you guys how I research a company if I were looking to go somewhere. You guys know that I'm super happy here at Dart Transit. I'm not planning to go anywhere. Now, obviously, things could change at some point, and I could be going somewhere else, but as things stand like they are right now, I have no intentions of leaving. So in this video, we're going to talk about Risinger Brothers. No, I've never worked there. In the process, I'm going to tell you how I select where I go to work. Now, this guy, I believe it was probably a recruiter there. I don't know that for a fact, but he kept trying to get me to call them. And instead of doing that, I'm going to show you guys how I actually do it. But before we do that, give me a thumbs up, share this video on your social media platforms, and look below and make sure you're still subscribed. And wait a few seconds, a bell will pop up. Click that bell, then select all. You'll get notifications for the other videos that are coming out. I'll just let you know later this week, pending nothing surprising happen, we're going to do some more videos about this Peterbilt that I just got. A lot of guys are asking questions about it. And then probably next week, we're going to compare this to the 2019 Kenworth that I got out of. And I'll just tell you, there's pros and cons to both. But for now, let's fire up the music and jump right in. Here we go.
And this is why I do this, why I'm out here, why I keep that hammer down. Flying by these road signs with home on my mind, with these wheels turning round. For my family and for my kids, for this life I wanna live. And this is why I do this.
Okay, one of the first things I do now that we're back that a lot of guys don't think of is you can Google a trucking company, type in their name, and then right after it put the word Safer, S-A-F-E-R. And what that'll do is it'll pull up a report that is created by the DOT, and it gives a lot of key information on there. So the first thing I want to do is take a look at that report, and we're going to do that together right now. Here we go. Okay, as you can see, we've typed in Risinger Brothers Safer in the description like I told you. Then we're going to hit there, and you can see the first thing that pops up. You click on that. Now there's a lot of great information here. At the top it'll give you their DOT number, and you scroll down a little bit and you can learn a lot more about the company. It tells you where they're headquartered at, has their physical address as well as their mailing address. But here's what you want to look at. Here's the first thing. They've got 328 power units, but only 258 drivers. So that means they've got, what, 70 trucks available? Or roughly 25% of their fleet is empty right now, which is not good. Now, you and I both know with what's going on in the world right now, they could have a lot of broke down trucks waiting on parts. But that's the first red flag I would point to when I'm looking at a trucking company. Also, if you look down here at their 2021 mileage for the year, now that's all their trucks. Divide that number by the 258 drivers and you'll see that they just average a little over 100,000 miles a truck, which is not great. If you want to really be negative, you can divide that 27 million miles by 328 trucks, and then you'll see it's only about 80 or 90,000. I didn't run those numbers, but you can do that yourself if you want to see that. Now, if you go on down a little further, this is probably the most important thing. This is what DOT looks at to decide if they're going to pull you in a scale, if you have pre-pass or DriveWise or anything like that. You can see that they have on their vehicle inspections, they've had 115 inspections and 31 of them have been out of service, which is 27%. The national average is 20.98%. So they're over 6% above the national average on vehicle inspections. That means you're going to get pulled in a scale more if you work there. But more than that, what that means is a lot of times the drivers there aren't making money, or they aren't making good money. You say, why is that, Trucker Todd? Well, typically when a business is struggling, or when a independent contractor is struggling, in this case, maintenance is one of the first things they let go, because they're just trying to make enough to survive. Now, driver inspections is much better. You can see they had 371 driver inspections. Only 5 drivers were placed out of service, which is 1.3%. National average is 5.68, so they're great in driver inspections. But you're still probably going to get pulled in because of the vehicle stuff. Now, if you go on down a little further, you can see they had 1 fatal crash. They had 5 crashes with injuries. They had 14 towaways, and it's a total of 20 crashes altogether. DOT reportable is what I should say. And then you can go down. This is for Canada. They must not go to Canada because there's nothing there. That's Canada crashes. So that's the first thing we want to look at. The last time they were reviewed was October 7th of 2019. And this rating is from a long time ago, back in 2007. So that information's too old to really be a benefit to you. But the thing that you really want to look at is right up here at the top, that vehicle inspections being 6% above the national average is going to draw more attention to you when you go into a scale. Now, let's take a look at some more stuff. Alrighty, now beyond that, another thing I like to do is look at YouTube videos, and you have to kind of take those with a grain of salt, because there's several different kinds of YouTubers. There are some that are going to be totally negative. They hate every company they work at, and they're not going to give anybody a fair shake. There's going to be some that are on the company dole, and it's nothing more than a commercial. The company pays them to put out positive videos and to say positive things, and those are pretty easy to spot. They're usually well polished videos, almost like a TV commercial. Then there's those guys that are in it for the referral money, and every other sentence is contact my recruiter, use my driver number, blah blah blah. I've been accused of that, but some of the guys that accuse me of that find out I'm real quick that that's not me, because even if they come to work here or they go to work at another company, I still help them whether they put my number down or not. I'm sure it's nice when they do, but it's not my sole purpose for doing this. And so there may be a few other types of YouTubers I'm not familiar with. But what you want to watch for with these companies, more than any of that stuff I just told you, is companies that don't have any YouTube videos, especially larger companies. Now, it's not the end of the world in Reisinger's case, especially since they're a pretty small company. But it is concerning when it brings up a couple of questions. I just watched the only videos I could find for Reisinger on YouTube were from a female named Dirty Truckin'. That's her channel, and she claims that she was fired from Reisinger for making YouTube videos. Now, you and I both know there's another side to the story. I like to say there's three sides. There's your side, my side, and the truth. And we obviously don't have Reisinger's side of the story of what happened, but it is concerning that she's the only one making videos there, and that's from like 9 months ago. Nobody else is making videos. And there are certain companies. I worked for a company that's no longer around called Robert Heath, and when they found out I was a YouTuber, they said, we want to view all your videos before you publish them. And I never liked that. I've got a problem with that. I think if you're doing the right thing, you don't have to be concerned about who knows about it. Dart and Roadrunner have both been, when I worked at Roadrunner, they were the same way. They both let me put videos out. I can say whatever I want to say. Now, both of them have told me, hey, we really wish you would talk to us before you put out a negative video and at least give us a chance to make it right. That's fair. I think that's okay. I don't have a problem with that. And you notice any video negative I've done, for Dart especially, because I've grown a little since Roadrunner, by that point, by the time you hear anything negative, I've said, hey, here's my side of the story, and I try to give you their side of the story as well. And they themselves have told me they appreciate that, and that they feel like I do a fair job of representing them as well as myself. And so that's what concerns me also about Reisinger, that there's nobody else making YouTube videos. So I wonder if they kind of discourage that or outright not allow it. I got asked to check on another company this week, and they flat out told me, yeah, you can make videos if you work here, but we're going to monitor them closely. Well, you don't want to sign a lease purchase with a company like that if you're on YouTube, and even if you're not on YouTube, because what happens if you're at the fuel island and somebody comes up and asks you about your company? Maybe you've had a bad day. Maybe you're arguing with your dispatcher, and you say, it's not a great company. I'm looking for something else. And then they call your company and they say, hey, I just talked to one of your drivers. He said it's terrible over there. Why would he say that? And they're like, oh, really? And then all of a sudden your lease is getting broke. Or say you do have a YouTube channel. Maybe it's a small one. Maybe you've got 100 subscribers. And you say something in a video, your company doesn't like it, and all of a sudden your lease is getting broken, like this Dirty Truckin' lady's claims in her videos. As I said, I don't know her. I'd never watched her prior to doing research for this video, but it's definitely concerning when any company, media or otherwise, tries to take away your free speech rights. And instead of worrying that there might be a negative video coming out, they need to be concentrating on making their company so good they don't have to worry about negative videos. All right, let's look at the next thing. I'm going to go to their actual website. Let's see if they're a great deal after I look at their website. All right, here we go. All right, we're back. I've just Googled Reisinger Brothers. We'll pull them up. And then you scroll down a little. It says website. And there's a lot of stuff here. Now, they've got some good on here. Let's be honest. Own your truck in as little as 12 months. Nothing wrong with that. Solo owner operators can now receive a $12,000 sign-on bonus. Solo lease purchase drivers can now receive a $12,000 sign-on bonus. And get this, teams can get up to $24,000 sign-on bonus. Now, a lot of you are going, wow, that's great. To me, that's a red flag. A company that has to offer a sign-on bonus this large has problems. And I'll tell you why. If it's a good company, word of mouth will get them a ton of drivers. And if they've got $12,000 to give a brand new guy starting with their company, and I say brand new, not experience-wise, but a new hire, why don't they just give that money to the existing drivers that's been there, that's been doing a good job for them, in the form of a retention bonus or an annual bonus, or not even a bonus at all. Give them a raise. $12,000 would be somewhere around 7 or 8 cents a mile. Give everybody within the company 7 or 8 cents a mile, and then you won't have to worry about hiring, and you won't have to worry about drivers staying. All right, let's scroll down. That's enough on that soapbox. Now, you can go down here to, let's see where I want to take you. Yeah, let's go right here, join Risinger. Now you scroll down, and before they give you any information, they always start the application. To me, that's another red flag. Tell me the facts, and then I'll be looking for your application. You won't have to try to sneak it in there. But if you scroll down below it, you get to the good stuff. Of course, they mention their bonuses again. They also have a $1,000 quarterly bonus and a $1,000 minimum weekly breakdown pay guarantee. So I'm guessing they don't give a lot of details on that. I'm guessing if you break down, they'll guarantee that you make $1,000 that week while you're broke down. Now, this is where it gets concerning. And, well, let me skip down here first. Their current rates. And this is where a lot of guys were trying to beat me up. Because DART just recently increased their mileage pay. And drivers can make $1.12 a mile plus fuel surcharge loaded. And they can make $1.05 a mile empty. Now, everybody was telling me, oh, that's terrible, you're getting ripped off. And I kept saying, you have to look at expenses. You have to think about that. And so here's where that comes into play. Here you got Risinger paying 10 cents a mile more. And you've got, on their lease purchase teams, they pay 3 cents a mile higher than that. Now, here's what's weird to me. If you've already got your truck paid off, you get another 18 cents a mile, so you make $1.40 a mile. And I don't understand why you wouldn't pay your lease purchase the same rate you'd pay your owner-operator. How a truck is financed should not affect rate, in my opinion. Now, here's where the stuff gets really fishy. All right, remember what I said, 10 cents a mile more than what DART was paying. Their top 100 lease purchase drivers bring home over $1,500 a week. All right, think about that now. That means there's a lot that aren't bringing home $1,500 a week. DART tells their drivers they'll make between $1,800 and $2,400 a week. So even though you make 10 cents a mile more, which you're going to pay taxes on, your take home is actually less because of that overhead. Now, in Risinger's defense, they are a smaller company, and I'm sure their insurances and things like that play into that. Now, if you already own your truck, you can take home over $2,000 a week. Now, you guys saw my end of the year video. You saw that in December I took home just almost $12,000. And this guy was telling me I was getting ripped off. But here, had I been here and had I been in the top 100, I would have took home about half of that, about $6,000. So am I getting ripped off, or are Risinger drivers getting ripped off? But that's enough on that. Let's scroll on down here. Additional perks. Maybe there's more good news. They plan you out 2 to 3 days in advance. That's nice. Now, here's something that we found dishonest. Consistent miles of up to 2,500 to 3,000 miles a week. Now, I just showed you on that Safer report what the average truck driver does there, about 100,000 miles a year. That's not 2,500 miles a week. That's about 2,000 miles a week. But I guess I don't know how they arrive at that. There's no way that could be true as an average. Maybe there's some drivers there that's getting that mileage, but there's obviously some there that are getting a lot less. Now, they've got a 5 cent per mile driver appreciation bonus from now till March 27th. And then they'll pay it out on April 7th. That's good, but you know, it makes you wonder, what if something happens between now and then? Obviously, you wouldn't get that money. And then up to $5,000 in annual bonuses, safety and miles. Again, that's great if you get it. You're probably going to need it if you're only making $1,500 a week on the high side. And then unlimited driver referral bonuses. Every company has that. They're pet friendly. They pay scales and tolls. A lot of companies do that. No Qualcomm fees. That's nice. I'm not going to knock that. Special recognition bonuses. 100% no-touch freight. 90% customer freight. That's okay. 50% drop and hook. That's not great. You'd like to see it, 90% or so, but on a smaller company, that's not always possible. Free transflow, free navigation, and no trailer fees, which is nice. So now I'm going to come back and give you my final thoughts. Okay, I hope that gave you guys some insight on how I examine companies, what I look at, things like that. I know some of you naysayers are going to say, yeah, but you didn't call the company. Let the recruiter try to persuade you. I just don't feel that's necessary unless I'm wanting to make a jump. I saw what I needed to see from their website, from the internet, from the Safer score to decide that, is this the worst company out there? No. Is it better than Dart? I don't think so. The lady on YouTube, the Dirty Trucking that I referred to, she made several statements in some of her videos. They're better than Western Express, but that's not saying a lot. Western Express is not a great company. But anyway, I hope this helped you guys. Would Reisinger be in my top 5 places I'd go if I left Dart? No, I don't think so. But I mean, if you lived in the right spot, they have a lot of dedicated stuff. They might be a fit for you. But I mean, to make half what I make now, and that's not exaggerations, that's their numbers. I showed you mine. They showed me theirs on their website. That's their advertised prices. I think I'll stay right where I'm at. All right, folks, I'm going to wrap this up. Y'all have a great day. I'm sure this is going to upset a lot of people. All right, bye-bye.